gentlemen. How's your day been? It gives me great pleasure to discuss with you a very important topic that borders on Nigeria's economic development. My name is Mark Akpan, and I am a development finance specialist with over 12 years experience, working both within the non-governmental organization nationally and also international non-governmental organizations. The topic of my presentation today is barriers to access to finance for MSMEs in Nigeria. Now, according to Sweden, a survey conducted by Sweden and National Bureau of Statistics in 2020, there are about 40 million MSMEs in Nigeria. And these 40 million MSMEs contribute to about 97% business share in the country, 47% of employment, and also 47% gross domestic national gross domestic product, and the GDP, and also contribute to about 97% employment within the country, as well as contribute to about 40% of export products within the country. Now, in Nigeria, most MSMEs surveyed identify that lack of funding is one of the greatest challenges that they face in building and developing their businesses, to succeed. So, part of the challenges mentioned during this survey by Sweden and the National Bureau of Statistics in 2020 indicates that the challenges faced by MSMEs includes high interest rates, includes lack of collateral, includes inflation, high cost of production, as well as issues bordering on lack of documentation and informality. Now, in other countries where these challenges, similar challenges, confront MSMEs, like in China, the government have been able to put in place structures and systems that help to overcome these challenges. For example, in 2024, after the advent of COVID-19, the government of China created a palliative specifically dedicated to MSMEs in order to be able to inject additional fund, about $50 billion, to help revitalize MSMEs that were affected by the COVID-19 incident. So since that time, about 90% of these businesses have recorded improved growth, which basically speaks to the importance of government intervention. So in places like Nigeria, MSMEs, the government of Nigeria through the Central Bank of Nigeria have been able to create special interventions such as the NISAL, such as the AXMIS, such as the Anchor Borrowers Program, and other institutions like the BOI, BOA, and also the recent Development Bank of Nigeria. All these initiatives have been designed in order to be able to address the lack of access to finance for MSMEs in Nigeria. However, most of these interventions, due to the isolated operation of these agencies, have failed to address this critical challenge that MSMEs face. The International Finance Corporation in 2022 conducted a research also that shows that there is a 13 trillion naira funding gap for MSMEs in Nigeria? And how will the government be able to mobilize the resources in order to overcome these challenges? Of course, part of the recommendation profile is to be able to put in place credit guarantee schemes that can enable banks to be able to leverage these funds and also make funding available to MSMEs. In conclusion, there was definitely no economic development without a deliberate effort to be able to support and finance the development of MSMEs in a way that can enable them to build resilience. So it is our understanding that if the federal government can work with agencies like the SMEDAN in coordinating all these efforts to support MSMEs in Nigeria, MSMEs will be positioned for growth and development. Thank you very much for your attention. And my name is Mark Akpan once again. Thank you.